It is Sunday, the 9th of June, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Today, we're talking about a band that I only know one song by, and it's the song we're talking about today. Since I discovered this song, I've wanted to listen to their discography, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But that band is Blues Traveler, and the song I'm talking about is Hook, which is probably their biggest hit, which is very hilarious and ironic if you know anything about the song before we listen to it, but we're going to listen to it now in a sec. Now, this is a song, I've talked before about how lyrics are the most important thing to me. This is a song where the lyrics are in direct contrast with the music on purpose. So I want you to pay attention to the lyrics and also the music, and you should understand what the song is laying down before I lay it down for you after we listen to it. But yeah, the song is called Hook, and we're going to listen to it now and come back in a few minutes and talk about it. Man, I fucking love that song so much. This is another one I've been listening to on repeat since I discovered it. It's actually, according to stats for Spotify.com, it is my most played song of the last year. I didn't listen to Blues Traveler. Well, okay, I was about to say I didn't listen to them contemporaneously, but this song came out before I was born. But what I mean is, I didn't discover them just through their music on the radio or something. I discovered them through Poker Face, not the Lady Gaga song, the TV show by Ryan Johnson starring Natasha Lyonne, which is a detective show where each episode she deals with a new crime, Columbo style, but there's also an overarching plot where she's on the run from someone. I'm gonna try not to spoil it because you should watch it. It's a very good show. But in the final episode of the first season, the guy who's been chasing her all this time catches up to her, and he quotes this song, saying that he's caught up to her because the hook brings you back. He's hooked her, he's pulling her back, it always pulls you back. It's a really weird moment in the show, but also I enjoy Benjamin Bratt reciting these lyrics, so I enjoyed it. But now that I know what the song is about, having listened to it, and it's just such a weird thing to do in that scene, but it's fun. It's weird. They really missed a trick by not playing the song in the fucking episode. It would have made complete sense to play it over the credits, but anyway. So let's talk about the song itself. So what is this song about? I hope that you were listening to lyrics, as I said, because this is a song about banal pop songs. It's about how, all the songs you hear on the radio don't necessarily need to have deep and meaningful lyrics, because what keeps you listening to it over and over again, paying money for CDs and merch and concert tickets, is the hook. The hook brings you back. Not only do the lyrics talk about this, and we'll read the lyrics in a sec, but something that I really enjoy is that the chord progression is designed to be basically Pachelbel's Canon in D, which, if you're not familiar by name, it's a song that goes do 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 do, right? I'm sure you've heard that. For one thing, there's a comedy bit about how many songs use that progression, which is very funny. I might link it in the description. There's also famously a Vine by Nick Mastodon and Dustin Hatzenbuehler where they're singing, go suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a motherfucking dick, suck a dick, suck a huge or small dick. But there's there's a bunch of songs that use it, and if you go, I think there's a list of it on Wikipedia. A very famous, more recent one is Memories by Maroon 5, which is here's to the ground to the world, all those memories, right? It's very clearly Canon in D. So this song is using the progression of Canon in D to make this point, although it's transposed to A major, but it's the same chord progression, basically. I just love that detail of it because I didn't pick up on it when I was listening to it before I looked it up, looked up the details, but it just makes so much sense because it is a chord progression that sticks in your head because it's recognizable. So let's talk about the lyrics here. It doesn't matter what I say, so long as I sing with inflection that makes you feel I convey some inner truth or vast reflection. But I've said nothing so far, and I can keep it up as long as it takes, and it don't matter who you are if I'm doing my job as your resolve that breaks, because the hook brings you back. So, yes, it's so forthright with its meaning. That's kind of what I love about it, because the whole point of it is that you're not listening to the lyrics, you're just listening to the tune. So it's not even trying to hide its meaning, it is just blatant in your face. This song is meaningless and the hook is what you're here for. And I love that. But also, like, in the same way, it's using phrases like, I can keep it up as long as it takes, which is a very, I mean, it reads like sexual innuendo. So, like, if you pay attention for a stray line, you catch that, you're like, oh, I know what this song is about. Is the hook his penis? And then, yeah, the hook is, I didn't notice that on Genius, right? Which is where I tend to read my lyrics. Things are denoted as verse, bridge, whatever, chorus, but it's actually listed as hook here. I enjoyed that. I've never seen that on another song on Genius. That's very clever. So the hook is, because the hook brings you back, I ain't telling you no lie. The hook brings you back, on that you can rely. And then verse 2 is, there is something amiss, I am being insincere. In fact, I don't mean any of this. Still my confession draws you near. To confuse the issue, I'll refer to familiar heroes from long ago. No matter how much Peter loved her, what made the pan refuse to grow is that the hook brings you back. Again, just being very forthright with what the song is about. I am being insincere. Don't trust me. But because I'm speaking in a confessional tone, you're drawn near, right? And then he says, I'll refer to familiar heroes, and then makes a Peter Pan reference, which is interesting. But it makes sense because Peter Pan's villain, of course, was Hook. And it's a stupid pun, but it's very enjoyable. I enjoy it because, again, he's making that point where it's like, I made a cultural reference. Are you interested? This is something you recognize, you know? And then we get a banger of a harmonica solo. How many songs do you know with a harmonica solo that rips this hard? It's so fucking good. It's got like a bit of an electric. I don't know if it's like plugged into something or if it's got like a filter on it, but it's got a really cool sound to it. It's just a really good harmonica solo, and it goes on for a few more bars than I always think it does. And then you get the bridge, and this is the bit that's recited in the Poker Face episode. So just think about that. And he does the whole thing. Suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. If you're Rin Tin Tin or Anne Boleyn, make a desperate move or else you'll win, and then begin to see what you're doing to me. This MTV is not for free. It's so PC, it's killing me. So desperately I sing to thee of love, sure, but also rage and hate and pain and fear of self. And I can't keep these feelings on the shelf. So like he's just making all these cultural references. Rin Tin Tin, Anne Boleyn, MTV, PC. You know, he's making all these cultural references to just be like, here, these are things that you like. These are things that you know about. Like this is history and fictional characters and TV stations, you know. And it's like supposed to catch your ear. And then desperately I sing to thee of love, sure, but also rage and hate and pain and fear of self. Like he's just kind of listing all the feelings one can have and like that are so common in songwriting. I've tried, well no, in fact I lied, could be financial suicide, but I've got too much pride inside to hide or slide. I'll do as I decide and let it ride till I've died, and only then shall I abide. You know, he's saying like, well, it's a gamble to release a song like this, but they're doing it. Catchy little tunes of hip 3-minute ditties. I want to bust all your balloons. I want to burn all of your cities to the ground. I've found I will not mess around unless I play. Then hey, I will go on all day. Hear what I say. I have a prayer to pray. That's really all this was. And I'm feeling stuck and need a book. I don't rely on luck because the hook brings you back. So he's like, it feels like this bridge is him like kind of making this appeal of like, this is my last desperate plea to become famous, you know, and using a Canon in D hook is reliable. It works every time. It's such a wild bridge because it's like, it's really fast paced. It took me a while to be able to do this, and I can do this, by the way. I can deliver this. I know this song off by heart, but it's a really impressive like song. And he does this live too. Like he does the whole harmonica solo and then rips into this bridge. There's a video of them doing it on SNL. It's wild. But yeah, it's so fucking good. It's so clear about its intentions and it displays it so well. I was saying this, I don't remember which song I said this for. I was talking about how parody and satire and comedy need to work properly. Did I say this on this show? I feel like I did. But like, in order to get its point across, this song had to be good. It had to be catchy. And it is reliable to rely on Pachelbel, but it's so well delivered. Because it would still work if it was just like straight piano and playing Canon in D, but it would kind of be more obvious. But this song, it rips. It's got a really good rhythm to it, and it's got a fucking harmonica solo and a wild bridge. And they just like, they didn't have to over deliver on that, but they really did. And I really love this song and what it is and what it does. There's a music video too that kind of tells the same story, but for TV. It's a guy flipping through channels who's played by Ken Ober, by the way, who's a famous game show host. And he's like channel surfing, and the people on TV are lip syncing the song. There's like a beauty pageant. There's a politician who's clearly modeled after Charles Foster Kane from Citizen Kane. There's all sorts of stuff. Paul Schaefer is also in it, lip syncing the lyrics. And then at the end, he turns off the TV and reads a book about the Civil War. And it feels like it's kind of giving the same sort of general message for TV about how, like, you know, you've got these, dumb entertainment, like things that you don't really care about. You're just putting it on for background noise, like a hook. You know, you got politician, you don't care what he's saying. You got beauty queens, and you don't care what they're saying. You know, like, it's kind of delivering a similar message. And I enjoy that. Actually, I just thought of Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events and how they encourage you not to read the books at the start. Look away, look away. Kind of a similar idea, actually. That's interesting. Yeah, I really like the song. I don't think I have much else to say about it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm sure it's going to be stuck in your head for a while now because the hook brings you back. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe, leave a comment, give a like, all that jazz, and I will see you tomorrow.
Break it down.
There's also famously a Vine by Nick Mastodon and Dustin Hatzenbuehler where they're singing "Goes Go." So this song predicted how shit Maroon 5 got. No, if you pay attention for a straight line, you catch that. You're like, oh, I know what this song is about. Is the hook his penis? Oh god, I'm not going to tell that story on the show. How many songs do you know with a harmonica solo that rips this hard? It's so fucking good. I wish John Popper wasn't a piece of shit Republican. You know, he's making all these cultural references to just be like, here, these are things that you like. Jingle, jingle. Using a Canon in D hook is reliable. It works every time. 75% of the time, it works 100% of the time. Suck it in, suck it in, suck it in if you're in Tintin or Ramblin'. Make a desperate move or else you'll win. And then begin to see what you're doing to me. This MTV is not for free. It's OPC, it's killing me. So desperate I was saying to the of love. Sure, but also of rage and hate and pain and fear itself. And I can't keep these feelings on the shelf. I've tried. Oh no, in fact I lied. Could be financial suicide. But I've got too much pride inside to hide or slide. I'll do as I'll decide and let it ride until I die. And only then shall I abide this tide of catchy little tunes. Of hip 3-minute ditties. I wanna bust all your balloons. I wanna burn all of your cities to the ground. I've found I will not mess around unless I pray. Then hey, I will go on all day. Hear what I say. Got a prayer to pray, and that's really all this was. When I'm feeling stuck and need a buck, I don't rely on luck because the hook brings you back. I ain't telling you no lie.